Hello, I'm Min Kobayashi, and this week I am celebrating being on booktube for 2 years, so I thought that I would actually do one of my first tags I ever did. It was before I even did my new booktube newbie tag, and I'm really excited. This is going to be an unedited, rapid-fire tag answering questions as fast as I can. Okay, so first question is ebook versus physical book. Physical book all the way, although if I can choose doing audiobook, I really love audiobooks. The only downside is I really like taking notes and underlining. So audiobooks is more time efficient and it works better, but physical book makes me actually write everything down, which actually takes so long. I read so much slower because I'm always making notes. I don't make notes in audiobooks. Okay, this is not going very fast. Online or in-store book shopping. I really like perusing the shelves and learning everything about the books and all that, but also I love the fact that online shopping is often cheaper if you can get nice shipping. Tragedies, nope. Trilogies or a series. This is really difficult because I do really like long series, but I think I really like duologies. In that trilogies are sometimes iffy. It's really a thing. I think that the things have probably expanded since this tag was made. Heroes or villains? Villains, definitely. I'm not a huge fan of heroes. I never have been. Morally gray ones. I know that people say that morally gray people are getting overdone. I'm sorry, but I love them. People are not black and white. And recommended, underrated book. Anthem by Ayn Rand. The Shattered Realms. Shattered Realms series. I can get books quickly off my shelves. The last book you finished. Fahrenheit 451. The last book you bought. I'm not sure exactly, but it was definitely Blood and Bone. Children of Blood and Bone. And what else did I buy with that? Legend by Marie Lu, I think, were the last two books that I bought. Weirdest thing you've ever used as a bookmark. I don't ever use natural things as bookmarks. It's really bad. I don't own a single bookmark. I actually got one from a store and then I immediately lost it. I'm not good. Used books, yes or no? Yes. Pretty much every book on my shelf, I have 400 books, are used. I cannot afford new books. Those are way too expensive. And I don't even buy $6 used books. I buy $2 used books. Borrow our top 3 favorite genres. Fantasy, science fiction, and there's so many other beautiful options. Science fiction, fantasy, classics, I guess. That's a genre. It's very things I like, especially science fiction and fantasy classics, but also just classics in general. Yeah, those are the 3. Borrow or buy? Buy. I like to be able to mark up my books, though I do love libraries for their accessibility. Characters or plot? Characters 120%. I think that plot often takes away from character development and there's just way too much of it. I constantly want to lobby for the rights of characters to just exist in books. I love downtime. I love sometimes you just get to see them chill. Why does the next event have to happen at the end? Can't they just have some downtime and have some cool stuff happen? That's what I want in life. Long or short books? I would have probably said in the past long books. I do really like short books though. I like to be able to go through, but I don't know. I also really love my long, beautiful books, Les Miserables back there, and other things, but I tend to not be intimidated. It's just a lot of time and effort. And as I said, if I'm reading things physically, it takes a long time. Although I do love large novels. This is not very conclusive. Long or short chapters? Short chapters, absolutely though. I like to be able to feel like it's more manageable. And even short books, be able to go through quickly and then I can easily justify saying I just need to read another chapter before bed and it works great. Name the first 3 books you think of. It's bad because I have books right in front of me and I can see all of them. Anne of the Ingleside, 1,000 Beginnings and Endings, The Rose Society by Marie Lu. Those are the 3 books that I can randomly see. I can see a lot more than that. I'm saying more than ever. Apologizing. Books that make you cry or laugh. Definitely cry. I love the catharsis of tears. I know that it's unpopular. If a book doesn't make me cry, I don't really love it as much. I love to cry all the time. Most people go to books to escape. I go to books to cry because I need it for emotional release. I work in like high stress situations. I'm a counseling student. I work in counseling areas, blah, blah, blah. I need to cry often. It makes me happy. To cry. Yes, that is the result of that. Our world or fictional worlds? Definitely fictional worlds. I'd say I love fantasy, which is true, but I don't love urban fantasy very much. I really like out of our world fantasy. I do like some things, like I'm reading the Harry Potter books, yes, for the first time right now, and I do love the fullness of that in juxtaposition to our own world and like the President just Prime Minister. Wow, that's a Canadian thing, like I definitely should know that. But I love that the Prime Minister is involved in that as well when you're talking to Half-Blood Prince, which I just read, which is my favorite, and it's absolutely amazing. But I definitely don't love a lot of the fact. It's just, I don't know, and I don't think I would ever write urban fantasy. I've tried. I don't like it. I don't like things that need research because I don't sound like a contemporary teen, and it's just too hard to write. I like to be able to make things. Although I like making reference to our world, which I just make convoluted ways of doing that. Audiobooks. Oh, yes, no. Yes. Heck, yes. Audiobooks. I read so many audiobooks. Funny thing is, when I first did this, I would have not read any audiobooks, but definitely yes. Do you ever judge a book by its cover? Not really. I know everyone's like, don't lie, you judge books by covers. I don't. I will read books with ugly covers. I do sometimes, unless there's those ones with the half-naked men, and I'm like, no, it's probably erotica, even if it's not erotica. I don't want anything to do with it. That's pretty much what I sometimes judge the dresses, the girls with dresses on it. But I do judge, sometimes the book covers of versions of books that I want to buy. I want a specific cover, but that's mostly classic books, because some classic books are super ugly, and yeah. Book to movie or book to TV show? Definitely book to TV show. I've really become disillusioned with movies in general, and I don't love them as much. But I also have become disillusioned with adaptations. That's a whole nother conversation, but I have. And series or standalones. I adore standalones. I enjoy the conclusiveness of it. Sometimes if it's a really good standalone, I really want more. But I love that it all feels nice and tight and wonderful, and I like it a lot. But I love the overarching. Okay. This is not a short rapid fire. I failed. I'm sorry, this is 7 minutes. And I shall leave now. I should have thought to, I don't know, this is a popular one. Probably a lot of people did. I just saw people do it, and it reminded me of this. If you haven't done it, feel free to go forth and conquer the world with this beautiful, beautiful tag. And I will leave you there.